So I want to say something about Bitcoin, specifically on Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. It's a great system. It's something new. It's like it has some of the attributes of gold, and I love it. It's going to be really exciting to see where it takes us. It's a huge windfall gain for a few people, a very small group of people that got in on Bitcoin very early. And that's also good because that should be encouraged. I mean, they worked on encryption and they deserve it. When it comes to digital currencies as such, I think it's really important to emphasize and to tell people that Bitcoin is not the final solution. It is just one of the first digital currencies to really take off, but it's not the final solution, and there will be other kinds of digital currencies that will have at least the same kind of traction that Bitcoin has. So it's important to realize that Bitcoin is a digital currency, but there will be many other digital currencies. So Bitcoin is not the digital currency. I see some people, talking about Bitcoin going to millions of dollars each and all that, and I think that's a misunderstanding of how this is going to play out. I think we need to realize that it will be a free market and it will be a lot of experimentation, a lot of different things going on, and Bitcoin is just the first one to sort of get off and get some serious traction. A free market and a competition among digital currencies is what we want. And these digital currencies will have different kinds of attributes. Some will work on different kinds of problems and different kinds of economic problems within economics. My main problem with Bitcoin is that it doesn't enable credit. It doesn't enable transactions that for people that don't have any. So Bitcoin is based on, is a little bit like gold. Like if you have, the golden rule is that whoever has the gold defines the rules, and the Bitcoin rule is that whoever has the Bitcoin defines the rules. And if you don't have any Bitcoin, then tough luck, you can't make that transaction. And if you have two parties that neither of them have any Bitcoin, but they like to transact with each other, that doesn't happen. So we want also, for example, digital currencies that enable credit to be created, that allow people to gain trust in each other, to give each other credit. I've made this example before between a hairdresser and a guitar teacher. They want to exchange their services, but if none of them have any money, like in Spain today, there's just no credit around, there's no money around. And if none of them have any Bitcoin, then that transaction doesn't happen. But I can see that a system can be made using the kind of technology and the same kind of thinking that's been behind Bitcoin, where you would allow credit to be created so these people could start transacting with each other. Of course, one needs to deliver a service before the other. So the hair cutter will say that, okay, I'll cut your hair. And within a system kind of similar to Bitcoin, a credit will be created so that the piano teacher or the guitar teacher will be obliged to deliver that service back. And you could have people bailing each other, and you could have a system where a Bitcoin kind of like system would create some kind of service coin or credit coin or something like that. That will drive things forward. And if we can create something like that and do that really fast, it can change economies like the economy of Spain, where there's so much potential, so many people being idle now because they don't have any euros, they don't have any Bitcoins, there's nothing to transact with, so nobody does anything. So the hairdresser stays at home, and the guitarist teacher stays at home. They're both watching TV and wasting time when they could be doing transactions to improve the economy and move things forward. So that's just one different kind of currency we need. We also need currencies that have very different kinds of attributes. Like we really need a more conscious, environmentally concerned society. Maybe there's a way to do a currency that sort of encourages good nutrition and healthy food and all that. I don't think that much of that field, but people who do needs to start experimenting and do things. The Catholic Church can have one currency. Lots of organizations can sort of start issuing Bitcoin-like currencies that are related to their organization. And there are many things like that that can be done. So be excited about Bitcoin, but don't see it as the one big thing, because there will be several big things, and you can probably join some of that. I mean, we're still very early in the game, and sure, Bitcoin can go to $10,000. Sure, it could go to $1 million. But even if it does, there will also be other kinds of currencies, other kinds of digital currencies, and I'm mostly concerned about, and I'm thinking personally most about the kind of currencies that will enable credit, that will enable transactions where this is not enabled now, where people can use the fact that they are alive and that they have many, many hours and years and months to work in the future, and the ability to give a promise of delivering a service in the future. I mean, I'm going to need a haircut in 2044. Hopefully I'll still be alive, and I'm going to need a haircut then. So, on the 21st of October, 2044, if someone with credibility can promise to cut my hair, well, that has value. That's a token that has value, and it can be traded. And there will be digital currencies, digital systems that will pick that up and enable that. And if I have that haircut, I can also trade with that haircut. So I have a token for a haircut in 2044, and I can go and exchange that for lunch tomorrow. So those kind of transactions there's a huge, enormous potential for these kind of transactions if just the right kind of currencies can pick it up and enable them. So get going on your ideas for digital currencies, and we'll see this market explode. And it's all outside, hopefully, the state and unregulated, and that will create like a parallel dimension of freedom that the state can't really control that much. And that's the really exciting part of it. I'll talk about that in another video.